PlayStation 4 owners are in the enviable position of having too many great games to play this year. Between Nioh, Persona 5, Nier Automata, and Horizon Zero Dawn, to name a few, there's always something vying for our attention. Thus, it's easy to see why some games simply fall through the cracks, though not for lack of appeal. We've rounded up 6 games from 2017 that we think deserve a second chance in the spotlight. Now, if you'd like to see the games from other consoles that we thought you missed out on, you can subscribe to the GameSpot YouTube channel to check those out. But for now, let's kick things off with something a little different. Imagine a relatively quiet town in the American Midwest populated by anthropomorphic animals. That's Possum Springs, where Night in the Woods takes place. And as May, a cat human, you experience a readjustment to your hometown after getting the boot from college. This comes in the form of a side-scrolling adventure where conversations, character interactions, and minigames propel you through a complicated and emotional tale of modern young adulthood. Every story beat, hidden tidbit, line of dialogue, and optional interaction encourages exploring the beautifully painted world. The game isn't for everyone, but it hits what it aims for. Through the uniquely charming artwork of Scott Benson and the quirky yet emotive soundtrack from Alec Holowka, the poignant storytelling is wrapped in elements that elevate it above many games this year. Nex Machina effectively channels the classic twin-stick shoot-'em-up action of games like Robotron 2084 and Smash TV. But that's because Eugene Jarvis, the creator of those games, collaborated alongside the developer Housemarque to create it. Nex Machina is an intense display of frenetic action that takes the best from the work of both creative forces, combining it into an exhilarating experience of non-stop shooting and dashing. If you want to make things even more hectic, you can jump in with a friend and play cooperatively. Nex Machina's exhilarating action makes it well worth your time, but be wary, the game is tough, so expect your patience and reflexes to be tested. Tokyo 42 is an isometric action game that blends elements of top-down shooters with a little stealth in an open world. Its story takes you down the rabbit hole of joining a secret organization of assassins, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. Despite the brutal nature of the firefights and the unforgiving and sometimes frustrating bullet hell-like enemy encounters, Tokyo 42 still manages to be cute. It's probably the allure of neon signs and the adorable cats. The game is vibrant and lively on the surface, but creepily sterile and violent as you fight back against the unjust authority. Lying Light revels in its simplicity. You control a bright segment along a long line, riddled with obstacles and puzzles to the tune of a relaxing and rich soundtrack that seems pulled from a Disney Pixar film. The complexity of the challenges increases as you trot along the different stages, so you should expect to sharpen your logic and timing skills the further you get with Lying Light. You'll activate platforms to connect segments, avoid threatening lines, and sometimes guide them towards your goal by manipulating the path forward. Lying Light feels like a stress ball in video game form. It's tranquil and soothing, but manages to be engaging with a minimalist presentation. What Remains of Edith Finch is a game in the same vein as Dear Esther and Gone Home. That is to say, it's a walking simulator. The premise is that the Finch family carries a supposed curse that leads every family member to die in unexpected and bizarre ways. It's got a very Final Destination-y aspect to it. You play as Edith Finch as you explore the huge mysterious family manor to unearth how members in your family tree have passed away. This opens the door to creative flashbacks where you get to play the last strange moments leading to people's deaths. The story is powerful, gripping, and dark like an episode of Black Mirror. It's full of unexpected twists and turns and could only be effectively told through a video game. Considering you can beat it in under 3 hours, you should play it as soon as you can. Yakuza 0 embodies what made its predecessors so endearing for fans of the series, effectively combining its melodrama and seriousness with a dose of offbeat absurdist comedy. While these extremes don't seem like they'd work together, the game handles the combo with ease. The result is an entertaining experience that pulls you in with its involved narrative, makes you break into laughter with its outlandish humor, and immerses you in its authentic take on Japanese culture. It's also a prequel to the entire series, so if you've never tried a Yakuza game before, you owe it to yourself to play Yakuza 0. The 6 games you've just seen represent a fraction of the interesting titles that have hit the PS4 this year. You can head over to GameSpot.com for a more extensive look at the PS4's hidden gems, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like these, covering Switch, Xbox One, and PC. And if you think there's a game that deserves a bit of extra love, throw it in the comments below.